everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so excited to have you here today, and before we get started, be sure that you are subscribed here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun crafty content we have coming. Now in today's video, I'm so excited because Teckwrap sent me their brand new pearlescent HTV. This stuff is gorgeous, comes in a ton of great colors, and one thing that I really love about it is how easy it was to use. Usually when I get a new HTV product, it's sometimes a little bit tricky, sometimes can be a little bit frustrating, but honestly, this was so easy. They give you all the directions and all the cutting settings, and it's just so simple. This also applies at a lower time and temp than a lot of HTV. When you apply this, you apply it at 275 degrees for about 7 to 10 seconds. And that makes it so much easier, especially if you're using something like an easy press to do this. I just prefer to do those with like the lower temp HTV products. Now I made this fun Not a Hugger shirt, and I will link the little design down below because this shirt just makes me laugh really hard. I put this on a Gildan Heavy Blend hoodie, which I will definitely be wearing, and I love how the colors came out. So this is a fun, great product, and what I love about it too is it weeds like butter. So simple, so quick, and I was able to do this design really fast. Now I am going to show you how to change up the design to change the colors because it all comes in one color, and then I'm going to show you how to cut and weed and press. Now don't forget when you're shopping with Teckwrap that you can use code Corinne10 to save 10% anytime that you order. I'm going to link everything that we're using down below so you can easily find it if you want to make this product or you want to try out the HTV. Now, let's go ahead and get started.
Whatever we would do, we do it just for fun.
We're going to be using a design from Design Bundles. I did get this with the dollar deals, but I will link it down below if you'd like it. So this is the Antisocial SVG bundle. Now I'm going to show you how to download it and all of that because I know a lot of you guys have questions on how to do that, and it's actually super simple. So what you'll just need to do is to go to Download Files, and it should open up this little thing that says click on the file names to download. So just click on the file name, and it's going to open up your folders. Now you'll want to save it in a folder that makes sense to you. So for me, I have an entire folder just dedicated to my CRICUT designs. And then because this is kind of like a funny quotes, sarcastic type of situation, I'm going to put it into my funny designs, and you can see I have a lot in here. Then I'm just going to go ahead and click save, and it will open down here, like it'll have a little tab down here at the bottom. I want to open that folder because you need to do what's called extracting the folder. What that is because they compress your design to make it a faster and easier download. So you'll need to extract it in order to use it with Design Space. But it's super easy because all you have to do is click extract all, and it's going to extract it directly into the folder we saved the original folder into. So I just have to click extract. Now I have mine set to show my extracted file when complete. I just find that easier than having to go and click and find it. You can close the folder here that says extract, and then you just want to use this folder. I'm going to open this up, and we want to make sure that we're going to be using the SVG for this. And the one that I want to use is Not a Hugger, but you can see that they don't have these like really titled, which I hate when they do that. It drives me crazy. It takes 3 seconds to title your files. So if you're a designer, for all the love of God, please title your files. It makes me not want to buy from you again. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go into the PNG, and I'm going to find the design that I want. And I want this one with the cactus, Not a Hugger. So it's Antisocial 16. I can go back into my SVG folder and see that Antisocial 16 is right here. Let's head over to Design Space and we'll get this uploaded. Now over in CRICUT Design Space, all you simply need to do is click upload, and then you'll want to choose the upload image button right here. Click upload image. You can either browse for it, which I hate doing, or I just leave my folder open. We know that we're using Antisocial 16, so all we need to do is drag and drop that design. You'll see simply that it is all set to go, and I am going to change this to Not a Hugger Cacti just because it's easier to find if you change the name, so that if you ever want to use it again, you know what it is. Then all you have to do is click upload. That's the nice thing with SVGs, they're super simple. Go ahead and select that SVG and choose Add to Canvas in the lower right-hand corner. This is a really easy thing to do, especially if you just want to do something super quick and simple. Now, one thing I want to show you is we're going to click Make It right away, just so you can see something, because this is something that I know a lot of people have problems with. Notice that everything is jumbled up, not where it needs to be. It's just an absolute disaster. We're going to fix that, and I'm going to show you how. It's really easy, and because we're going to be changing colors, it actually works out really nicely anyways. So what you'll see over here is that you have this entire design grouped. I want to go ahead and I want to ungroup everything just to make life easier because we're going to change some colors. So I'm going to click these two squares right here with the little dots on the edge. Now you're going to see that we have multiple groups within our groups. So I just want to ungroup everything. It's just going to make it easier when we go to change colors just to ungroup the entire design, and we'll do some attaching and things to make this work better. Now we're going to be using the brand new Teckwrap Pearlescent HTV. It's gorgeous. So I've got a bunch of different colors, so I want to use a couple of them. So the first thing I know is I want to make these cactuses here, the cacti, if you will. I want to make them green. So I'm just selecting each of my items, and I'm going to change the color palette over here, and I'm going to make them green. Then, before I do anything else, I'm going to attach those cactus together because I know that's the color I want them, so I don't want to kind of like lose that, and I want to just keep those all in one piece. Now I want to change the color of this little arch, which is all one piece, and like I said, I have a bunch of colors to choose from, so I do want to make this pretty colorful, pretty fun. So I think for that one we're gonna make it like a pink. It's a really pretty kind of purpley pink, so I'm gonna do that for that little archway because I just think that's gonna be really super cute. Now keep in mind with this new pearlescent HTV, it really should not be layered, so you want to make sure that all your pieces and parts are not going to be layered on top of each other. So just keep that in mind when you are going to design your item. You'll notice that nothing in this design is overlapped. Now I have these two lines, and I want to make these two lines the same color. So I think for those, I'm going to do, there's a bright blue that I have that's really pretty. So let's do the bright blue lines for that. And like I said, you can make this one color if you want to. It's really up to you. And then I want to use the silver for the letters. Now with the lines, because they're kind of far apart, I'm not really concerned about attaching them. I'd rather save the HTV and line them up myself. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay. You can attach them. It's just really up to you and how you want to do it. Now I am going to select all of my letters, and there's quite a few letters. So for the letters, I prefer to weld them. I'm not going to change them in any way. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to combine, and I'm going to do weld. Now, if you want to keep them all as one piece, but you may eventually want to undo it, you can use unite. It does the same thing as weld, but what I like about weld is that it's going to take all those layers and make them one line instead of multiple. If I use unite, it still shows me all of the lines of the letters. See how it's all tons of lines? It's really up to you how you want to do it, but you can do it either way. But with unite, you can undo it if you ever want to change it. But I'm going to do the Not a Hugger in the silver color because I think that is really fun and pretty. Now we do need to resize this because this is pretty large, so I want to select my entire design. And actually it's a little bit smaller than I think I want it because I'm putting this on an adult large shirt, which for that typically I like to do around like 9 to 9.5 inches. So we're going to be using 4 different colors of the pearlescent HTV from Teckwrap. Now these do cut on the everyday iron-on setting, so something to keep in mind. Now if you haven't watched me before, first off, welcome. But also, you have probably not seen what I like to do instead of using mirror on the Make It screen. I tend to forget to mirror it, and also, sometimes it doesn't always mirror. My CRICUT sometimes just doesn't mirror it, and then I have to recut stuff, and it's a pain. So what I like to do is I use the flip option here on my canvas, and I'm going to choose flip, and I'm going to flip it horizontally, and that is going to mirror my image. That way I don't have to remember to do it. The next thing I want to do before I move on is I always save my projects, and I'm just going to save it as Not a Hugger, and go ahead and click Save. Now from here, once this saves, you can simply just go to the Make It button, click on that. You won't have to remember to mirror it or anything, and I'm going to show you all of our different mats. So we have our silver, there's the green, the blue with the 2 lines, see them both right there. and then the arch. So we're going to be able to get this cut out really easy and really fun. This does cut, like I said, on the everyday iron-on setting, so we're going to use that. I'm going to take you over to the machine and show you how to get everything cut out. We're going to be trying out the new Teckwrap pearlescent heat transfer vinyl. These colors are stunning, but we're going to be starting with the silver for the words. Now I tend to keep the little sticker that goes on these because I can just put it right back on, but if for some reason I don't want to keep the sticker, I do use slap bracelets. Now when you're putting these on your mat, you're going to notice two different sides. You're going to have this side that's kind of dull, and then you're going to have this side that's much more shiny. This is your carrier sheet side, and you want to place this carrier sheet side down on your mat. That is super important to do to make sure that you're going to get a correct cut. Otherwise, you're cutting on the wrong side and it's not going to work. Now, I don't like to take mine off the rolls if I don't have to. I like to continue to keep mine rolled. So I'm going to just keep the roll back on the end of the mat, and then I'm just going to cut the front part. So I'm going to set this to the everyday iron-on setting and get this cut out. I'm going to be putting the design on this black sweatshirt. I just thought it would look so pretty with the black and the bright colors. So what I'm going to do first is kind of lay it out. And that way I can figure out where everything goes, because like this arch here sits kind of funny onto the cactus. So I got to remember quite where it sits, because I think it sits a little bit lower than like in my brain I feel like it sits. So it sits like right about there-ish. It might go up a little bit more, but for now, like that's pretty good. I just want to kind of get everything set out so I can see how I'm going to press it, because I think I'm going to press it with a few different sections, because we're going to have to do this in sections so that our carrier sheets do not overlap. So that is what we're going to need to do for this. Now, because these, I could probably press the Not a Hugger together. I think I'm going to do that. And then I'll do the cactus and the arch separately. They're not all going to stick together, which is kind of a pain, but that's okay. What we'll do first is kind of figure out about where the cactus is going to sit, because that's going to be like our big main piece is this cactus. So I'm going to get this fairly centered, and I use the center of the hood. You don't want to use the pocket. The pocket is never centered. Don't use the pocket. And I'm going to try to get this pretty straight. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So from here, I need to figure out where the Not a Hugger is going to go, but I am going to trim off a little bit of the carrier sheet off of the top of Not a Hugger and the bottom. That's going to allow me to put those blue lines on with a little bit more wiggle room so that I don't end up accidentally getting any carrier sheet under them. So I just sort of trim that off, because you don't need a lot of the carrier sheet for this. So I've got a blue line that goes under the cactus, and we want to just kind of figure out about where we want to put that blue line. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to have to move the cactus and stuff out from under it, but that's okay. And then I want to figure out where the Not a Hugger goes, which I'm going to put right here. And then we have the base blue line, which is this one. I think that looks pretty good. Not quite even, so I'm going to move it over just a little. I think that looks pretty straight, pretty good. I'm going to hold it up a little bit, just take a look. I think that's pretty even. So what I need to do is get the cactus and this purple line out, but I think I can lay the cactus back down, because I believe that that blue line will be out of the way, because you can, as long as there's no carrier sheet under your design, you can lay them all kind of together. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Our cactuses, they look centered-ish. centery. All right, I think we're good. So these press at 275 degrees for 8 to 10 seconds. So luckily I'm gonna be able to just do this in 2 layers, which is super simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this over to the heat press, and the last layer that we'll press is this purple arch. So we're set to 275 degrees, and we're gonna press this, and we're gonna do a first press kind of quickly. We're not gonna do a full press, and then this is a cool peel, so we will need to let this cool down a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and press it. And that's about as long as we press, for just a few seconds. Now again, this is a cool peel, so we don't want to peel it while it's hot. And one trick you can do is use the sleeves of your shirt, and that'll help kind of pull some of the heat out. I've also seen people use ice packs and stuff, but truthfully, I'm not in that much of a hurry. If I'm making a lot of the same shirt, I could see where that comes in handy. But honestly, for something like this where it's just a quick one-off shirt, just cooling it with the sleeves works just fine. I am just allowing it to sit for a minute or two. I don't like to pull it off the press if I can avoid it. Looks like we're good to peel, so I'm going to go ahead and peel this one. And then I believe, oh, the cactus are next. I try to peel them in the order that they're sitting on the shirt, just so it's easier, so that they're not trying to like pull up big pieces. And then I think I can peel that one. And then we'll peel this one. Okay, I just need to get the purple line on. Now we have to let this purple part cool, but because we're basically done, I'm fine taking this off the heat press now and letting this cool over on the table, and then we can take a look at what it looks like. So here is the finished shirt. I wanted to have it kind of sitting up because I think that shows off this pearly finish. Now I'm going to put like a shadow over it with the camera so that you guys can see a little bit more of the color. But I think this came out really, really, really cute. These are really soft too. They don't feel like super heavy on the shirt like some HTV can. And I really think that it was so simple, and these weeded so nicely. I'm really excited to wear this. Sadly, it's still summer, but I think this is going to be a really fun shirt and definitely going to be one of the top in my rotation. Now, if you guys want to shop for this, be sure to grab the link in the video's description and use code Corinne10 to save 10% anytime you shop with Teckwrap. If you guys have any questions at all, by all means, please let me know in those comments down below. I am always happy to answer those for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting!